What's going on, guys? KJ here, back again on the NHL 19 beta. Today we're going to be taking a look at a really unique and, call me crazy type of player build that I came, to create last night while playing some club, and it worked out pretty damn well. So I'm going to show you the loadout right here. It is a skater loadout, obviously. It is my number 3 loadout. It is a Dangler, 5'8", 169. Let's go into the edit loadout screen. Now you may be thinking, KJ, it's a Dangler. What's so special about this? This class is not meant to be played on offense or as a forward. This is for a defender. And you may be thinking I am absolutely insane for playing a 5'8", 169 Dangler on defense. But I gotta say, it works, and it works really, really well. So you may be asking why I went Dangler. Well, in threes, obviously having a lot of ice, not always you're going to be playing defense as a defender, right? You are going to have to rotate and go up in the zone. You're going to, have a lot of ice to work with, and you want to be able to not only skate fast, but be able to actually have good puck handling and deke past the defenders on their side of the ice. And this is a class that allows you to do it. Think of this as a alternative or replacement for puck moving defenseman from NHL 18, because that is obviously not a preset player build in the game right now. So this is kind of my alternative. Obviously, being a forward, I'm not going to be able to get the same height that a defender would be. 5'8" gives me that range where I still get a decent amount of speed and I can still take some hits. 169 is like the threshold where I still can keep 90 acceleration, and if I go any heavier to try and increase my balance and strength, then it starts to affect my speed, acceleration, agility, and endurance. So that's the weight plus 169. You know what's good, boys, right? Shooting right, obviously I've switched between left and right last night just because I completely forgot to switch it. I was playing lefty, so obviously I'm going to have a right-handed shot. But we come to the traits, and this is where things get interesting, because this is where you kind of tailor the build to be the position that you want it to fit into. So we take a look at traits here. My primary trait number 1 is Dirty Dangles number 2. This boosts my deking stat all the way up to 95, but it also reduces my wrist shot power down to 72. Me personally, after playing about 10 games with this build as a defender, I can honestly say I don't find that being incredibly necessary, and I personally would rather have Booming Slapper. However, you can do whatever you want. You can either run Booming Slapper or Dirty Dangles. I think those are the two that you really want there. You want something to give you a better ability in the offensive zone. And one thing that really, was a downfall is the ability to take a slap shot. As a defender, you need to be ready for those 1Ts when, your teammates sauce it back to the point. You got to be ready, and this class just was not able to connect on 1Ts at all. You could use the one-timer perk in the specialties, but I don't think that it's really worth that when Marathon Man is so advantageous to have. So Booming Slapper would be my actual preferred build in this, but I went with Dirty Dangles too because we did end up playing a lot more threes yesterday, so I wanted to have the ability to dangle on the open ice a lot more. But if I was playing sixes, Booming Slapper would be my go-to. Coming into the secondary trait, I have Good Stick, which is a defensive perk. This is going to give my stick checking a nice little bump, and it is going to knock down my body checking. Now, obviously, I'm 5'8". I am 169 pounds. I am not going to be in this playing the body. I'm not going to be going for hits. I want to be a class that has a better stick checking ability, but also maintain the offense. Good Stick just allowing me to hopefully take less penalties when I poke, as well as help me pull off stickless a lot better. This is a really good perk to add in as a defensive capability as far as traits go. Anything else I would use? Heavy Hitter, if you kind of want to boost up your body checking instead. I don't know if it's really worth it. You're already a small guy in general, and you can actually take hits. You can take hits, believe it or not, with this class, because people aren't playing the same style of play they do in ones. So you're not going to be, facing guys that are 6'9" enforcers that are 270 pounds. You're going to be playing guys in that 6'1" to 6'3" range that are probably like 240-ish. And you can easily take hits from them. So for me, Good Stick is a mandatory trait to have on this. Primary, you leave it up to you, dirty dangles or booming slap shot. Specialty, this is where I feel like this is the meta right now. Marathon Man is hugely important. Being on defense, I want to make sure that my energy is always up, because there's going to be situations where I may push in a little far in the offensive zone. They end up getting the puck off one of my teammates and they go for a stretch pass. I want to have the energy and make sure I have the energy to get back on defense quick enough. And albeit, I'll tell you right now, that small player build on defense comes real handy when, you know, you end up letting a breakout pass get to one of the opposing team members. You can catch them. And that's a real big important thing. Any other defender build, you may not be able to catch them and they may have a clear breakaway. With this build, being as fast as I am, I was able to contest 8 out of 10 of breakaways that I, you know, accidentally let through, and they couldn't score on it. So honestly, Marathon Man to me is a must-have. Obviously, I mentioned that the one-timers were a little bit bad, so you could go through and pick up the one-time wonder perk right here and put that on, and it would boost your ability to get those 1Ts and actually be able to score off face-offs or off of passes back to the point, because you are playing defense. So for me, it would either be Marathon Man or one-time wonder, depending on what game mode. If you're playing 6s, I don't think Marathon Man's really, you know, excessively important, but if you're playing 3s, it definitely is. So 3s, Marathon Man would be the go-to. If you're playing 6s, one-time wonder, 100% usable. Anyway, I'm going to cut into some gameplay and then continue to talk about the class, but this is the build that I was using last night. All right, so here we have some gameplay. There's kind of 3 points I really want to touch on that are problems and benefits with the build. Number 1 is speed. So we're going to see a bunch of clips here where speed comes very much in use. See there, I managed to just burst through the middle of the ice, set up a play where I can accept a pass, go cross crease, and then put it in the net. Here we have a situation where I pushed up a little too far and one of their forwards started leaking towards our own zone for a stretch pass. I managed to get back quick enough to intercept the pass and prevent that from happening. Here, once again, you know, I'm playing back. One of their guys gets around me, but I'm able to catch him or put enough pressure on him where he doesn't really have enough space to make a considerable move. And just like that, I'm back up the ice at center ice. Even though I'm supposed to be a defender, I have that ability to move around the ice really quick, and I really like that for a defensive build. Here, we have a situation where the puck gets behind our net with one of our defenders, and I'm able to just come in and chop it back. Here we have a breakaway situation or a partial break where I managed to catch the guy. Our goalie, unfortunately, didn't trust your defender. Always trust your defender, guys. Same situation here, partial break, or well, actually, this is a full break. And that situation is how the last clip should have played out, where trust your defenders, but we all managed to catch up to him, me specifically taking a little bit more of a lead from the pack of my team. So that was the showcase on speed and ability to get back in the defensive zone. And here we go. We got a little batch of clips right here that are going to showcase some of my hitting power right there, knocking a guy back in the corner. We're not quite able to knock him over with the size of my player, but I'm still able to throw my body around because of the amount of speed my guy can generate, and I can actually disrupt plays very easily and still, you know, play defense the way that I want to play defense. You know, just aggressive, throw the body around, make it difficult for people to get around me, go for the hits, and just not use the poke check button, aka the tripping button. And there you go, beautiful hit I was trying to get all night. Little hip check action. Very hard to land hip checks this year, but definitely an underrated move. If you can get it to go, then definitely get it to go. There I knocked the 6'5", 230-pound forward on his keister. And that ends the hitting clips. Here we have some of the clips, very few clips, where I actually tried to go for a one-timer from the point, and it just wouldn't go. This class does not have the shooting skill to actually get off one-timers or really even slap shots for that matter. So that's kind of why I recommend putting on the booming slapper perk, because it does give you that little boost to your slap shots, where if you're playing as a defender in 6s and you're going for point shots, it just comes so much in handy. Anyways, just real quickly to round out the video, I'd like to go over the strengths and weaknesses of the class. So for me, the strengths are speed. Obviously, you're able to play both ends of the ice very easily. Your energy is always up very high, so you have no problem moving around the ice quickly. Stick checks. The trait in there for improved stick checking is absolutely beautiful. You don't need to run with poke checks, but you still have the availability to make consistent strong pokes, as well as getting those stick lifts in to play defense on the breakaways. Hitting, I actually gotta say the hitting on this is pretty darn good, to say the least. You're not absolutely demolishing guys, but you're still able to disrupt them enough to where you can still play the body and not have to worry about wasting your time going for hits. Passing, absolutely beautiful on this class. You do have the hand-eye coordination from being a dangler to have both good deking and passing, and obviously the last strengths, obviously deking. You know, you're playing a class that's meant to deke. That is obviously going to be a strength. Moving into the weaknesses, there's 4 weaknesses that were really prevalent to me. Obviously, number 1 is slap shots / one-timers. Was just damn near impossible for me to even take a slap shot in this. My guy kept wanting to do wrist shots. Even when I tried to wind up, just it wasn't happening. So unfortunately, slap shots are a big weakness. Injury prone. I didn't mention this in the video, but there were 2 games where I basically got crunched really bad. And yeah, you know, you end up getting an injury. So it is, you know, you are quite injury prone because of your size, but the good thing is you were able to recover from your injuries pretty quick in ESHL this year. So it's not too big of a deal, but it definitely, you know, can cause issues down the line. Shot accuracy. Not only were the slap shots non-existent and not accurate, the wrist shots were a little less accurate for my liking. Obviously, these are more shots that I'll be taking from the point towards the center of the offensive zone, so I'm not really in there too close. Anytime that I actually got in there really close, my shots were accurate enough for me to score, so that's really good. The last weakness is forgetting your position. I find it really easy to forget that you're playing defense because you're so fast, you're so nimble, and you have that ability to just move around the ice so quickly. You kind of lose track of the fact that you're playing defense. All around, this is a build that works. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 9.0. The only thing I'd like to see, you know, be a little bit better is the shooting. You know, I can adjust the traits later on to improve my wrist shots or slap shots, and I would give this an absolute 10 out of 10. I think it's a really interesting, unique build that you're not going to see a lot of people use, and you should go ahead and try it. Give it a try. I swear you will have a lot of fun using this as a defender. It is really interesting, to say the least. Anyway, guys, if you have any ideas for different types of player builds that are really random or unique and you want to sauce them in the comments section down below, I'd love to do some reviews of just wonky ones. So throw them down there and I'll review them, man. Like, you know, anything goes. I like having fun. I like doing weird things, so I want to make this a regular type of series. So let me know in the description down below the types of builds that you would like to see. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like down below. I'd highly appreciate it. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. My link is in the description. And as always, guys, take it easy.
Five and cocoa from Burberry, diamonds dancing, wet canary, flosses on me, architects, wipe my nose like January, say my name like Bloody Mary, no, I'm not no ordinary, Fiesta.